Hello Roadrunners, this is your friendly LBCC librarian Douglas, and today we're going to be talking about some features in the database ARTStor. This is a database of images of paintings and drawings and sculpture and tapestries and photography and oh so many more. About 2.5 million images are in this database. There is another video that we posted that shows how to get to the database from the library website and how to log in and then also create an account within ARTStor so that you'll be able to save things. So I have already logged in, and this is the home page of ARTStor. You can see in the top right hand corner up here that I am logged in. And also the access is provided by Linn-Benton Community College, which you will need to see, of course, with your own login name up there, so that you can use some of the features that we'll be talking about. So mostly today we'll be talking about groups. That means groups of media images, a place to save them into one collection. You can kind of think of it as a file folder to collect them in. And so to see, for example, what groups I already have on my account, I go to the Browse menu here. I scroll down to Groups and click on that. And you can see I have two groups here. One is about flowers and one is about the Odyssey. You can also see that these are both private. That means that only I can see them. If you look over on the left-hand side, so under My Groups, the ones that are private are the ones that only I can see, and the ones that are shared by me are ones that I created, but I might have sent a link to somebody else so that they can see it as well. Under institutional, these are different groups which have been created by somebody here at Linn-Benton Community College and then shared to make public to our institution. So if you look over on the right-hand side, you can see who created it. Most of these are created by Isabel Havitt, she is an instructor here, and she has shared those with our institution. So how do you create a group? Let's go back up here. I'm going to go back to the home page. To create a group, what you need to do is first of all find an image or several images to add into a new group. So first of all, I'm going to search. And I'll search on, well, okay, so let's search on something I searched before, which is seascape, or you can type in any other keyword there for your search. And I'll click on the magnifying glass to search that term. That gives me over 1,700 results. I can narrow those down by these different selections that are on the left-hand side. So for example, maybe I want paintings. And so that still gives me 473 to look at. I probably don't want to look at that many, but maybe I'll narrow it down farther by going to European seascapes. And now I select a few that I can put into a group. So first of all, I need to check this mark that says select, and you can see it's 0 selected right now, but as soon as I scroll over them, you see a little box pops up at the top of it. So I can, let's take this Monet picture, and let's take this Vincent van Gogh picture, painting. And well, this one looks nice too. So, okay, so now I've got 3 different images selected. And what I will do is go up to the Organize menu, and I will save selections to new group. And I'm going to create the group that way. So save selections to new group. I will give this a name. Well, in fact, there's a name right there. There's my name, Seascape. Okay, so I could give a description if I wanted to, if it was for a particular class or whatever. And then I have the choice of making this available to the institution, just like we saw before, or if I want to keep it private for now, I would just leave it at only me. And then I select create. And now I have that group. So I can either go use this link that says go to group, or I can go back to under browse and choose groups, and now it's going to show me my groups. That's the default, and here's my new group of Seascape. So I would look in there. There are my 3 pictures that I had selected: a Monet, a Vincent van Gogh, and a Renoir. So now what I can do with that, I can add more images to the same group, or I can delete images if I want to. Maybe I'll go back and search for another one so I can show you how to add another image to the group. Okay, again, I'll narrow it down by paintings, Europe. Okay, so now let's look for a different one. Now maybe what I want to do is add this one. So now I could, again, do select, especially if I'm going to do more than one. I would use the select key and then select button and then be able to select more than one. But now let me go to this one in particular. Okay, so now this one, I could just select add to group, and I could add the item. It would select the entire thing. But here's something we can also do. We can get a detail of the image by scrolling in. So I'm kind of scrolling in with my mouse, or I can use this button up here that says zoom in. Well, that's too far. But say I want to get this boat and just that detail out of the whole image. You can see down in the bottom left-hand corner how much of the whole image I'm getting. But in any case, I'm happy with that. So now I want to add to group, but I want to add the detail view. So if I click add detail view, and it asks me which group, and I'll put Seascape group, so I add that. So now that detail is in my group. So we can go back to that group, go to group, Seascape, browse, groups, Seascape. These are in alphabetical order, those different groups. And now, as you see, I have that detail view of that one picture that I've just added. So that is how we can add items in, either the complete item or the detail. Even with ones that we already have in here, if I want to select that picture, and then again, maybe I want to zoom in to just the boat up here, and so I can add that detail. So now if I say add to group and I say add detail view, then it will add that one to the Seascape group. And I'll go to group. And now you can see I've got the full image still, plus I also now have the detail view. Okay? So let's say I do want to make this visible to my institution. I can go back to the Organize menu. Once I'm in my group, since what I'm looking at is my group, go back to the Organize menu and I can edit the group info. So now I could rename this if I wanted to, but I can also make it available to the institution. So if I save that change, then when I go to groups and I look at institutional groups, mine will be in here somewhere under Seascape. They're in alphabetical order, so you can find it that way. So now mine is publicly available at the institutional level. So now I can also go back to my group. Let me go back to my group. So let me go back to this group here. I have some other choices for sharing this group. So one is, if I want to share it by sending an email with a link, or maybe embedding a link in a web page or a presentation or something like that, I can generate a group link. That means a link to this group, this folder of images, just by clicking on that button and then getting the URL. So this is a URL that goes to the group. So I could then copy that to clipboard, and so then I can go into an email and paste it into the email or paste it into a web page, anything I wanted to do. So right now this one is available at the institutional level. So for somebody to click on that link and get access to it, they don't need to be logged in as themselves. They just need to be connected through the Linn-Benton Community College access. If I sent a link to a group that is private, they would need to be logged into their specific account to be able to see that. And then it would show up under, let's go back to groups. So go back to groups. If I click on the link and then look at the group, it would be under here, shared with me. It would be under this link. I don't have any shared with me at the moment, so this nothing is here. But if I opened a link that somebody sent to me to their group, then that would be now listed under this option here. And now I've also got this one under here. This is my group, but it's shared by me, and I shared it by making it available institutionally. Okay, so let's go back to my group. Okay, so another way to share this, there's a few different things we can do. One thing is we can export it to, we have a couple choices. One is to a PowerPoint presentation. So if I select that, what it's doing is it's creating the PowerPoint presentation, and then it's downloading, or it says it will download soon. Okay, so now I see it down here in the bottom left corner. I can click on that and it should open up the PowerPoint presentation, which then you can, it will save that on your computer, and then you can send that PowerPoint file to somebody, or of course you can present it. So each slide will be one of the images that was in my group. Okay, so that's the PowerPoint presentation. I can also share it by exporting the group as a zip file. What it will then do is create a zip folder of the images all contained in that folder, and they will be JPEG images, which then you can send those to other people, or you can just store them on your computer and then use them in a paper or a presentation, that type of thing. So another choice we have is to download an image. And so again, let's go back to our Vincent van Gogh picture here. I have a choice up here that says download. And again, I can download the entire image, or if I want to zoom in to get a detail, then I can download the detail view. And then that will become a JPEG file on my computer. So let's go ahead and do that. Accept the terms and conditions. That is a file on my computer. I can open it up to look at it. It's down here in the bottom left corner. Okay, so those are some of the different features you can use when you're in ARTStor. And if you have any questions about using some of these features in ARTStor, feel free to contact me or any of the reference librarians at the LBCC library. Until then, I hope you enjoy using ARTStor.